Just imagine about it. A skinny boy who always looks tired, as if there's no energy inside him. So lazy that his only friend is the one who takes care of him. But the funny thing is, girls still fall for him. Some even end up loving him. But don't get too happy, because this isn't your life. It's Tanaka's. And this is where the story begins. Tanaka is lying under a shady tree, relaxing. But then his best friend Ohta, who looks like a thug but is actually a very caring guy, shows up. At school, everyone calls Tanaka Transport, because his only mission is to take laziness to a whole new level. What's Tanaka's dream? Just to sleep? Even if his hands go numb, he won't get up. One day after finishing his homework, he put his head on the desk, but because there was no air, he started feeling restless. As soon as he sat by the window, a cool breeze came in, and Tanaka instantly fell into dreamland. He's so lazy that he even fell off his chair while sleeping. But when it came to sports period, Tanaka seemed full of energy. He was looking for a sleeping position where his hands wouldn't go numb, but during warm-up, his hands started hurting. Then the badminton match started. There were two athletic guys on the other side who were intimidating just by their height. Tanaka hit a smash, and everyone realized that this guy shouldn't be allowed to exert himself too much. Ohta was impressed just by his form and said, "Bro, you're perfect." Then, in the middle of the match, a shuttlecock flew away and everyone went to find it. Meanwhile, Tanaka caught one and fell asleep in his arms. Everyone thought, man, he's sleeping so peacefully, it would be a sin to wake him up. At lunchtime, they both went to the canteen and picked a salty and a sweet dish. The shopkeeper, without thinking, gave the sweet one to Tanaka, but they ended up grabbing each other's food, and Ohta said, "Bro, being a man doesn't mean you can't eat sweets." While eating, Ohta started lecturing Tanaka about his habits, but Tanaka wasn't paying attention and ended up cutting his lip with the bread. A small ulcer formed instantly, and Ohta had to finish his lunch. Ohta said, "Bro, is your skin made of glass? Even bread can't handle it." Tanaka decided that if he couldn't build physical strength, he'd build mental strength, so he started writing shlokas. Ohta thought this guy was pretty dedicated, but after class, they saw a poster about new challenges. Tanaka thought another struggle was coming, so he decided to just stay a normal background character. Ohta said, "Alright, but don't go somewhere where there are only side characters." One day, Ohta helped a little kid find his football, and everyone was impressed. Tanaka thought, if Ohta is so dependable, I should just leave my life in his hands. Anyway, Ohta does all the housework, cooking, cleaning, everything perfectly. Tanaka teased Ohta, "You're definitely husband material for someone." The next day in class, Tanaka was back in full-on zoned-out mode. When Ohta tried to take him to a cultural club activity, Tanaka thought it was just another excuse to be lazy, but when he tried to drink water, he accidentally spilled it all over himself. Now the poor guy couldn't eat, and Ohta couldn't force-feed him. And during the birthday celebration, while everyone was enjoying themselves, Tanaka was playing the piano, or maybe he was just looking for another excuse to sleep. Everyone was singing happily when suddenly the piano's tone became heavy. Everyone thought he was in full emotional mode. Someone noticed Tanaka looked weird, and as soon as someone touched his face, he screamed in pain. Everyone was shocked. What's going on? Jiateng and Jichue, who were relaxing, said, "Bro, this looks like the effect of love." Ohta couldn't understand when or how Tanaka fell in love, but he didn't have time to worry. He decided to cheer Tanaka up by giving him something sweet. But then a book fell out of Tanaka's bag and it said, "If your tooth hurts, go to the dentist." There were also symptoms written: no appetite, irritation over small things, low energy. It was a clear sign that this wasn't love. It was a tooth problem. Without any fuss, Ohta took Tanaka to the dentist. Tanaka decided then and there that he'd brush his teeth properly from now on. Ohta was so proud, he was about to get emotional, but by then Tanaka had already fallen asleep. No problem. Ohta picked him up and took him home. A girl was watching all this drama unfold, silently observing. The next morning, Tanaka went to the temple early and wished that no new problems would come into his life. His plan was that if that didn't happen, he'd complain directly to God's boss. But as soon as he got to school, a bubbly little girl came up to him and said, "Senpai, I want to be your student." Tanaka thought God had taken his money because the exact opposite of his wish had happened. He knew that if he rejected her today, she'd come back tomorrow. So he thought, let's see how it goes for a day. The girl, named Kungye, was super excited and observed every move Tanaka made. She even supported her chin with her hand like Tanaka, but when the teacher saw her, he got worried because Kungye's expression looked like she was about to eat someone. The teacher immediately sent her to the medical room. After classes ended, Taita gave Tanaka a sweet coupon, which said only 3 people could benefit from it at a time. Tanaka asked Kungye if she wanted to come along. Kungye tried to act mature, but saliva was about to drip from her mouth, so she just said yes. Tanaka wasn't in the mood to eat, he just wanted to rest. But Taita said, "Bro, you starving is like a nuclear disaster." And without any discussion, he dragged Tanaka to the canteen. Then Kungye said, "Bro, if you have to get up to eat, it's better to stay hungry." Tanaka dreamed of a peaceful future life. A small place, no tension, just relaxation. But Taita thought it sounded like jail, so he quickly fixed Tanaka's mindset. Meanwhile, Kungye secretly kept watching Tanaka. He thought if Tanaka could drink green tea, he should give up strawberry milk. But the biggest twist came when Taita, who's a macho guy, shamelessly started sipping strawberry milk. Kungye saw him and immediately realized that this guy is secretly soft. Taita ordered a strawberry milk for Tanaka to handle the situation, but Kungye's sadness only grew. Kungye thought, how can Tanaka drink milk so effortlessly? Does he have some hidden talent? But Kungye wasn't one to give up easily. Being a hardcore topper, he wrote a thick research paper, but Tanaka refused to even look at it. Tanaka clearly told him, "Milk isn't my thing, bro." Kunge thought even if Tanaka didn't change his habits, it was fine because it was a plus point for him. But then Kunge said, "There's a special person in my heart, and I want to mature a bit to be worthy of them." Tanaka curiously asked, "Does that person ignore you?" Kunge shook his head. "No, nothing like that." Then Tanaka explained, "If he likes you just the way you are, why are you putting yourself through unnecessary struggles?" This thought stuck in Kunge's mind. After that, the three of them went to eat donuts. After eating, Tanaka said he wanted to go to Izumo's shrine to tell God what was in his heart, but the twist was that he had no idea where the shrine was. The next day, Ohta caught Tanaka. "Bro, big problem. Kunge, who was full of energy yesterday, was now acting super lazy. This was ultra unusual. Ohta thought maybe there was some tension with his crush, but in class, Kunge was just staring blankly at one spot, and his words sounded weird too. Ohta took out his ultimate weapon, strawberry milk, and offered it to him, but Kunge took coffee instead. This was even more shocking. They secretly followed Kunge and saw that he was about to enter a forbidden area. They stopped him immediately. It turned out Kunge's mind was stuck in an obsession with doll anime. He was curious about how these small dolls moved. Then his inner conspiracy theorist mode activated. Is gravity controlled by some alien force? Kunge's Chunibyu mode was activated. He thought only he could save the world. But when he heard that dolls are actually controlled by humans, his lazy mode deactivated. Tanaka thought even if God was messing with him, he'd make another wish to keep his normal life going. But as soon as he got to school, he found a challenge letter in his shoe locker. This seemed like a direct challenge from God. Autumn had arrived, and Taita was eating as if performing some mystic ritual, while Tanaka was in slow motion mode, picking up his food. He didn't like any tough-to-eat food, whether it was fish with bones or something that needed peeling. It was all a waste of time for Tanaka. When Taita saw Tanaka struggling with a small fishbone, he silently took his plate and prepared the food for him. That day, Tanaka enjoyed a proper full meal for the first time in his life. After eating, while everyone was cleaning the table, Tanaka fell asleep right there. Taita picked him up and took him home. Taita mentioned the challenge letter, but Tanaka acted like nothing had happened. Then a blonde girl, Tsukimae, made a dramatic anime rival entry and said, "Tanaka, I've come to challenge you." Tanaka glanced at her and went back to sleep. Taita and Tsukimae knew each other from before. Taita went full mom mode and introduced her. "This is Tsukimae, my childhood neighbor, who was a fan of my handmade sweets." Tsukimae didn't like hearing about her past embarrassments, so she instantly cut him off. "Bro, I'm here to challenge you." But Tanaka just gave a lethargic reply. "Just let it go. You have this cursed energy where anything you do will fail." Hearing this, Tsukimae's fighting spirit evaporated. Finally, she convinced Tanaka to play Go, the board game. Tsukimae won, but Tanaka used the white stones to write a big white on the board. This became a full meme moment. Tsukimae, who came to show off her attitude, now felt super awkward. Her swag effect completely flopped. But then, Tsukimae's inner sweet lover mode activated. She suddenly felt like playing something else, so she said, "Let's play cards." While they were shuffling the cards, the wind was so strong that, while shuffling, the wind blew the cards away, and they scattered all over the terrace. Tanaka and Taita noticed that Tsukimae kept stepping on her long skirt, so they started worrying. What if her skirt lifts or gets stuck in an escalator? But Tsukimae kept her swag mode on and said, "This is my style. I'll never change it." After this whole competition, Tsukimae had a shocking realization. Tanaka isn't some hidden genius. He's genuinely a hardcore lazy person. She remembered that one of her friends wanted to be Tanaka's student. Then Kungie made an entrance. Seeing him, Tsukimae's mood completely refreshed. She felt inner peace. Tanaka casually said, "Relax, nothing's going to happen to Kungie. If this guy wasn't lazy, the teachers would have already expelled him." Tsukimae felt relieved, but she still angrily said, "Don't say anything about my bestie." Tanaka just walked off peacefully in monk mode, while Kungie kept praising Tanaka. Hearing this, Tsukimae suddenly started doubting, "Am I being secretly made a fool of?" Before more confusion could arise, Taita went into side protect mode for Tanaka. The scene became super dramatic. On one side, there was friendly tension between Kungie and Tsukimae. On the other side, Tanaka was in full chill mode, and Taita was giving off bodyguard vibes. But then the real drama started. Tsukimae grabbed Tanaka's collar and exposed the real reason for the fight. Turns out, a few days ago, Kungie had gifted Tsukimae some bunny-shaped cookies he made himself. But Tsukimae thought they were so cute that she didn't feel like eating them. When she remembered that the cookies were still with her, they had already gone moldy. The biggest tragedy was that Kungie accidentally saw them. Kungie's instant anger mode activated. He refused to listen to any explanation from Tsukimae. Tanaka casually said, "Next time, take a photo and eat it then." But the problem was that Tsukimae didn't even have a smartphone. Total thug energy, no phone, just action. So Tanaka said, "Just go and say sorry." On the other hand, as soon as Taita heard that someone had wasted sweets, his sweet justice warrior mode fully activated, and he took Kungie's side. Tanaka took Tsukimae to Kungie, and the whole environment shifted from Arctic to Sahara. Tsukimae was in full emotional damage mode. Tanaka said, "Write a letter of apology." But when Tsukimae wrote it, the letter sounded like a full-on full-on aggressive challenge. Kunye got even angrier. Tsukimai asked, "Bro, since when did Kunye start seeing you as a teacher?" Tanaka explained the whole backstory, but the biggest shock was that Kunye had a crush on someone, and Tsukimai had no idea about it. Emotional explosion. Tanaka calmly said, "Relax, Kunye won't hide anything from you. Just go and ask him directly." Then Tsukimai asked Tanaka, "What about you? Do you and Taita ever fight?" Tanaka, in full zen mode, said, "Bro, we're stable like an old couple. I don't even have time to fight. Just accept it. Why stress?" Then Kunye finally spoke straightforwardly, "I was angry because Tsukimai wasted the cookies. You're my bestie." Tsukimai had an instant breakdown moment. She felt like this had turned into a full dramatic anime scene. She immediately said sorry, and the two besties patched up again. Kunye made new sweets, but thinking that Tsukimai might not eat them again, this time he gave them a muscular man shape. Tanaka and Taita were in complete silent shock. Then Taita picked up Tanaka and raced him to the classroom. But on the way, they almost collided with White Shiraishi, the school idol and student council head. White Shiraishi had a huge fandom, and if Taita and Tanaka accidentally hit her, the fan club would end their future. Shiraishi stepped in just in time and handled the situation. Taita and Tanaka thought they should help her as a thank you, so they started arranging her badly messed up school records. As the three of them headed to the copy room, the whole school was watching them. Tanaka covered his face because he hated being stared at the most. Tanaka's ultimate goal was simple: to live an anonymous life, a peaceful existence without any trouble. But life never let him stay in chill mode. One day, when the topic of computer usage came up, Tanaka gave a wild logic. If someone wants to make the best use of a computer, they should keep it inside their shirt. It'll become bulletproof. The whole world was confused, and that poor computer must have been even more depressed. While taking documents out of the copy machine, Tanaka casually touched the hot paper and declared, "I can be a thermometer." Hearing this big brain moment, everyone just flatlined. Bro, where do these ideas come from? Meanwhile, Shiraishi, the student council idol, secretly took out her handmade macarons and gave them to Taita and Tanaka to taste. Taita took a bite and went into full shock mode. "This is high-end bakery level." Tanaka just nodded in agreement. The first time he showed interest in something, the taste of Tusca almonds. But hearing this praise, Shiraishi felt internally sad. She felt her macarons were tyrannically consumed. Bro, she got appreciation, but no satisfaction. In Taita's eyes, Shiraishi's level went up even more. Bro, she's not just a perfect student, she's a perfect chef too. Then Tanaka's sleep mode started activating, so Shiraishi said, "You two can go now." As soon as they left, Shiraishi let out a big sigh, quickly tied up her wig-like perfect hairstyle, put on her glasses, and got back to work. Secret flashback mode on. In the early days of school, Shiraishi was a nobody. No one even recognized her. Then she activated self-transformation mode, learned style, improved her way of speaking, and slowly became the high school icon. But she still had a big worry. What if people saw her real side? But then fate played a trick. Tanaka forgot his bag in the office, and Taita went back to get it. As soon as he opened the door, he saw Shiraishi's original form. An awkward silence fell. Taita just picked up Tanaka's bag and left without a word. The next day, Shiraishi was in full stress mode. As soon as she got to school, she started thinking, "Are Taita and Tanaka gossiping about me?" When she secretly overheard other guys saying that Shiraishi was the best waifu material, her mind started spinning even more. On top of that, Taita and Tanaka were talking randomly, and she thought they were dropping hints about her identity being revealed. As soon as Taita tied up his hair, Shiraishi thought it was a direct signal. "I know everything." During lunch break, the sports club guys asked Taita what he was doing last night. Shiraishi was in full heart-racing 1000 BPM mode, but when Taita gave a random excuse, she finally felt alive. She was saved. Shiraishi decided she wouldn't pretend anymore. After school, when she left in glasses mode, the guys in class didn't even recognize her. She was in full victory mode, heading home, but then Tanaka recognized her in a second. Shiraishi sighed and said, "Okay, I'll tell the truth. I was just fooling myself all this time." Tanaka, in full chill expression, said, "At least you were trying. I'm just lazy all the time. You're way better than me." Now, Shiraishi had to comfort Tanaka. Taita also supported her. "Bro, whatever you do it with full dedication. There's nothing to laugh about." Tanaka said, "Now you look normal. Your previous fake glamorous look seemed fake." They both promised not to tell anyone this secret. Shiraishi also realized that being perfect isn't necessary. The next day, she officially started wearing glasses, but one final curiosity remained. How did Tanaka recognize me? Taita also asked the same question, and Tanaka, in full deadpan mode, said, "Bro, chest size is different." Taita was speechless. "Bro, please don't tell Shiraishi this." During class, Taita used an ultra-cute hair accessory, and Tanaka was completely confused. "Bro, what's this new scene?" Then Taita said, "We need to go to the supermarket after school," and Tanaka went into an existential crisis. "Bro, what did my sister ask for? I forgot." Taita suddenly had a new realization. Tanaka has a sister who's a middle school student, and when he found out that Tanaka and his sister look alike and their parents are always absent at home, Taita's full Big Brother Protect mode activated. Bro, is Tanaka's house a complete mess? And now Taita's new mission was about to begin, fixing Tanaka and his sister's life. Tanaka versus grocery shopping. An impossible impossible mission. Tanaka casually said, "My sister is completely different from me. Only our looks match. Everything else is opposite." But when Taita asked, then what did she ask for from the supermarket? Tanaka went into a blank stare and started thinking. As they walked, they started guessing, something that either melts or is so heavy that Tanaka would clearly refuse to carry it. But since Tanaka's brain doesn't work on autosave mode, Taita decided to go with him. As soon as they entered the supermarket, Taita's bargain hunter mode activated. He started looking at discount tags and told Tanaka, "Look bro, let's take full advantage of the offers." In the meantime, he also grabbed a pack of discounted toilet paper for Tanaka. Tanaka internally facepalmed. "Bro, I made a mistake bringing Taita here. The aunties here are ready to take Taita home." A full-fledged son-in-law competition was going on. Then Tanaka's phone alarm went off. The screen only had one word written on it. They both stopped and started decoding the word. Whatever is related to this word, eliminate it. Thinking this, they started an ultra-random shopping spree. Taita casually handed Tanaka a reusable eco bag. As they left the supermarket, Tanaka noticed a pancake truck. He suddenly activated flashback mode. Looking at his hand's writing pattern and the surrounding environment, Taita predicted, "Bro, your sister wants pancakes." Tanaka had an instant realization. "Oh man, she told me to get cake." Taita went into full proud dad mode, like his kid had successfully completed shopping for the first time. Bro, salute to this guy's patience and parenting instincts, but the twist was yet to come. The next day at school, Taita found out the truth. Tanaka's sister didn't want pancakes, she wanted pipe cleaner. Taita silently tapped Tanaka's shoulder and said, "Bro, remember this next time?" Meanwhile, Shiraishi and her emotional turmoil. After her secret identity was leaked, Shiraishi suddenly started observing Tanaka more. Her face would turn red just by looking at him. But the biggest shock was, Taita casually picked up Tanaka and took him somewhere. Shiraishi thought for a second, "Wait, do I like Tanaka?" The problem was that if the guys at school found out, Tanaka might get attacked. Bro, the school's waifu war was on a whole different level. Shiraishi's friend said, "If you have real feelings, just go and try." Shiraishi secretly stalked Taita and Tanaka to get relationship tips, but the discovery she made shook her mind. Taita equal full-time Tanaka bodyguard mode. Tanaka equal full-time sleeping mode. Shiraishi internally sighed, "If I suddenly do the same thing, Tanaka will doubt me." So she planned a small strategy. "I'll accidentally bump into him and use that as an excuse to invite him for something tasty." But as soon as Shiraishi secretly glanced at Tanaka, Taita caught her. Shiraishi took a direct approach and straight up asked Taita, "Does Tanaka have a crush on anyone?" Taita thought and said, "If Tanaka likes someone, he'll just stick to them." Bro, was he indirectly talking about himself? Tanaka casually declared, "Relationships are a total headache." Shiraishi's stress lightened a bit, but she still decided, "I can't be romantic like Taita, but I can be Tanaka's closest friend." Then the door opened, and Kungye was talking to Tanaka in full energetic mode. Shiraishi's jealousy meter suddenly maxed out. Can I ever make Tanaka this happy? But as soon as Tanaka and Kungye looked at her, Shiraishi instantly activated flight mode and ran away. But Kungye caught her and brought her to Tanaka. Shiraishi was in full panic mode, and Kungye straight up said, "Shifu Shiraishi also wants to learn." Bro, what kind of misunderstanding is this? Shiraishi internally screamed, "I just want to be friends. I don't want to learn any skills." Tanaka, in full chill mode, said, "Forget learning, we're already friends." Shiraishi's entire mission ended in a second. Kungye took the first step and exchanged emails, and secretly messaged Shiraishi, "I support you." Kungye had become a full matchmaking squad. Suddenly, rain mode, Tanaka became a soaked mess because, obviously, he didn't have an umbrella. Taita arranged a sports uniform for him. Tanaka casually said, "Bro, carrying an umbrella is too much trouble. I forget everything," Taita said in a serious tone. "Sometimes an umbrella is a lifesaver." Tanaka thought for a second, then calmly agreed. Anyway, Taita is never wrong. Shiraishi saw from the window that Tanaka was wearing a sports uniform, and Taita quickly brought him back under shelter. Tanaka casually dropped another random wisdom. After rain, birds' feathers become waterproof. Taita and Shiraishi went into silent shock mode. Bro, what kind of logic is that? If birds can evolve waterproof feathers to survive the rain, can't humans do something similar? Tanaka's mind went into wild thought mode. Taita started laughing and said, "If we evolve like that, umbrellas will just become museum pieces." Shiraishi, upon realizing that even small things bothered Tanaka, straight up said, "Bro, bringing an umbrella isn't a big deal. Otherwise you'll get sick and it'll become a bigger problem." Tanaka thought for a second and finally said, "You're right." But when class ended, Tanaka noticed his umbrella was missing. Taita took full advantage of the situation and said, "Let's share an umbrella." Tanaka asked Shiraishi to come closer, and Shiraishi shyly moved in, but half of Tanaka's shoulder was already soaked. The next day, Tanaka went into full "I don't need an umbrella" mode and arrived at school completely soaked in the rain. On the third day, the result was that Tanaka got sick, came to school wearing a mask, and his lips weren't even visible. Taita shifted to communication mode. "Bro, let's write things down." But in the middle of it, Taita misspelled something. He opened Google to check, but then realized his textbook was missing. He had to borrow it from Tsukimai, but her name was so hard to write that Taita jokingly said, "Change your name." Tsukimai went into full drama drama queen mode and said, "In Japan, changing your surname is like proposing marriage. I reject this wedding." Taita sighed and said, "Tanaka, just use gestures to talk." Tanaka facepalmed and lay down on the desk. Taita instantly understood. "He's just sleepy." The other classmates kept saying, "Don't you two have any other topics?" Then Taita had a weird realization. "Bro, Tanaka keeps looking at me." He thought maybe Tanaka had unlocked some psychic power, but when Tanaka took off his mask, he said, "Bro, I wore the mask for one day and my skin became so smooth." Taita went into full mental breakdown mode. "Bro, are you sick or a skincare guru?" A little later, Tanaka came to school without the mask, and Taita noticed his facial expressions were more vibrant. It turned out he was secretly making funny faces under the mask. Tanaka thought these extra expressions were a bit over the top, so he put the mask back on. Meanwhile, Tsukimai took the surname Misunderstandings so seriously that she thought, "These two like me." Bro, a full anime love triangle misunderstanding had happened. Then Tsukimai casually said, "In the next tournament, should we hold a prime minister election?" Bro, where did this topic come from? But then Tsukimai went into full blushing mode and ran away. Now she started comparing Taita and Tanaka. Who's the better option? Like how we used to think about choosing between IIT and Harvard in childhood. Kungye saw that Tsukimai was so confused, so he randomly interjected, "If you're going to change your surname, which is better, Taita or Tanaka?" Kungye was clearly on Tanaka's side. Then Tanaka casually noticed the height difference between Tsukimai and Taita and said, "Bro, these two look really cute together." Sudden matchmaking mode on, but then Tsukimai's foot slipped. Taita caught her hand at the last moment, but Tsukimai went into full slow motion fail mode and fell in all directions. Taita quickly picked her up, and Tsukimai went into full panic mode. Not only did she fall, but Taita also carried her like a princess. Amidst all this, the real reason became clear. Tsukimai took the surname comment seriously. Tanaka felt instant guilt. He thought, "Did I insult Tsukimai's name?" He immediately clarified, and Tsukimai realized, "Oh, I was just overthinking." A new twist. Valentine's Day alert. Tanaka checked his bag and found a pack of chocolates. He casually checked the date and realized Valentine's Day was coming. The problem was that Tanaka was socially awkward with chocolates. He didn't understand, "Bro, if someone gives me this, what's the reply?" Taita noticed the chocolates were in basic packaging, but without thinking, he ate one. But the twist was that the chocolates were anonymous. There was also a randomly cut paper note. "I've always been watching your chocolates." Bro, is this a romantic note or a detective clue? Taita thought, "I don't feel good about this chocolate," but then he decided, "Bro, we need to solve this mystery." Taita told Tanaka, "Let's go buy a return gift." But Tanaka suddenly went into detective mode. "We need to find out who gave this." Taita guessed, "It could be Kungye because he gave me chocolates too." But the real twist was that Kungye only gave chocolates to Tsukimai. He didn't even consider Taita and Tanaka. Bro, Kungye didn't even put these two in the girls category. And now, Tanaka and Taita were about to solve the mystery. Who is this secret Valentine sender? On Valentine's Day, Tanaka received a mystery chocolate, and he had one question in mind. Did someone send this on purpose? Taita casually said, "First taste it. And anyway, do you ever think about getting a girlfriend?" Tanaka just shook his head and said, "I like girls, but getting into a relationship just for looks is a headache. Only when you feel like putting in effort for someone, that's true love." But when Taita took a bite of the chocolate, his face instantly twisted. "Bro, this is dark chocolate. Super bitter." Tanaka gave his chocolate to Taita, and as soon as Taita tasted it, he realized this is macaron flavored, which means white Shiraishi gave it. When they went to meet her, they overheard Shiraishi and classmates discussing Valentine's Day, which confirmed their suspicions. But the biggest twist came when Tanaka found a listening device in his bag. Then his sister Rina made an entrance, which was a total clone shock for Taita. Turns out, the recording device was actually Rina's, which she used to record lectures. Then when Taita went to her house, he got an extra bitter black coffee, which was proof that Rina was in prank mode. Then Tanaka realized that Rina was the one who made the chocolates. On top of that, the recording device had actually fallen there because of Jinhua, not because Rina deliberately placed it. The next day, Taita was missing and Tanaka couldn't remember his address. So he went to his neighbor Tsukimae, but she punched him without saying a word. "Taita is sick and you're chilling here?" Then she forcefully took Tanaka to Taita's house, and on the way, she bumped into thug Huan, who had helped her before, so they got safe passage. As soon as Taita saw Tanaka, he went into full emotional mode. But when Tanaka said, "I didn't come, Tsukimai dragged me here," Taita went into silent bashful mode. 3 days later, Taita returned to school and everyone started questioning him. "Why were you missing?" Turns out Taita was helping an old man, but accidentally slipped on a container and ended up in the hospital. The doctor said he needed a week of rest, but Taita was only worried about Tanaka's life. Everyone gave Tanaka a side eye. Now that Taita is injured, who will take care of Tanaka? But hearing this, Tanaka confidently said, "I can take care of myself." But then reality hit when he realized that lifting Taita was out of the question. Just supporting him was a struggle. Taita went into full creative mode and said, "Bro, what if floors and stairs could move on their own? That would be great." Tanaka was fully impressed. "That's a solid idea. Let's talk to the principal." Taita immediately pulled him back. "Bro, this isn't a sci-fi anime. Get a grip." Tanaka finally arranged a singing session for Taita and brought lunch. He was feeling a bit tired himself, so he swapped his lunch to eat something sweet. But in the end, Tsukimai surprised them with new desserts. Bro, this guy may seem like a thug, but his heart is really soft. During afternoon self-study, Tanaka almost fell asleep. Taita timely woke him up and reminded him, "Bro, you need to submit your English homework." Tanaka went into full mental breakdown mode. "Bro, English is my brain's enemy. The whole world should switch to Japanese." Taita facepalmed and said, "Bro, we're not in a 2D anime world." After that, the school emergency drill started, but Taita couldn't participate because of his injury. Then Tanaka realized that he depended so much on Taita that he couldn't even understand the school map without him. So he decided, from today, this day will be known as Taita Day. When Taita's injury healed, Tanaka took out an independent movement card. Taita went into full testing mode and planned to go to the activity room, but the class bell rang. Before Tanaka could react, Taita picked him up and dropped him off in the classroom at full speed. One day, a restaurant's limited edition toy offer caught Taita's attention, but Tanaka thought the fast food system was a bit too fast. Taita hesitated, but when Tanaka saw that toy number 4 was available, his interest returned. They finally placed an order, but as soon as Tanaka sat down, the staff detected his ultra-relaxed vibes. Surprisingly, Tanaka's order was so fast that even the staff was shocked, but the twist was that toy number 4 was already sold out, so Tanaka ordered a strawberry slush. The staff was a bit nervous that Tanaka might spill it and create drama, so they personally delivered the drink to the table. Tanaka was a bit disappointed that he didn't get the toy, but when the slush was served, he felt the VIP treatment was enough. But the slush was so solid that he tried to sip it with full force and his face turned red. The staff started worrying, "Bro, is he mad at me?" But the truth was that Tanaka was just admiring the staff's hard-working nature. Then Taita noticed the staff was in full panic mode, so he respectfully gave an appreciative glance. But the staff misunderstood. "Bro, are these two challenging me to a fight?" The staff immediately called for backup and started searching for toy number 4. Tanaka finally said, "Bro, the service here is amazing." And before leaving, he said, "I'll be back." The staff went into full panic mode. "Bro, is this guy coming back?" As they were leaving the restaurant, Taita remembered he left his phone at school. He said, "Tanaka, wait here, I'm just going to get my phone." As soon as Taita left, Tanaka ran into Rina and her friends. Rina's friend Zaoye was super shy, and Rina handled the entire conversation. Zaoye secretly glanced at Tanaka and said, "Rina, your brother looks like a prince, totally opposite of my gorilla-type brother." Tanaka thought, "Bro, being strong has its importance. Protecting family is important." But when Rina said, "Whether Tanaka is strong or not, I trust him the most," Tanaka felt a bit relaxed. Zaoye noticed Tanaka sighing, so she thought maybe he didn't want to stay with the group, but Rina instantly understood that Tanaka was actually happy. Then Rina said, "I'm going to get a drink, you two stay here." And finally, Tanaka and Zaoye were sitting alone. Tanaka was a bit curious. "What's Zaoye's brother like?" Zaoye casually said, "Do you know what Rina does about you at school? She always kicks you." Hearing this, Tanaka relaxed. "Bro, that means she likes me, so I can be tension-free." Then the restaurant staff came, but when they saw Tanaka, they thought he was a cross-dressing version of the guy who came last time. Taita had already returned, and on the way, he helped a lost uncle and a stray puppy. As soon as he saw Rina and Zaoye were also there, he said, "Bro, this is a full destiny moment." Tanaka and Taita's features were completely different, but their siblings had become each other's best friends. Taita and his sister had perfect harmony, but Rina felt that Taita had taken all of Tanaka's spotlight. Still, she liked Zaoye's nature. Among these friends, plans were being discussed about what would be best during the hot weather, and amidst this, a swimming pool plan was made. But as soon as Tanaka and Taita reached the poolside, reality hit. Tanaka didn't know how to swim. Tanaka decided to just sit in the water and chill, but his eyes were full of hope. "Someone please make me float." Taita immediately rejected his request without thinking. But then he said, "If you want to get into the water, do some warm-up first." Tanaka obediently followed the instructions, but as soon as he got into the water, his body movements looked like a damaged bicycle. One move, and he was about to sink. Taita silently witnessed this entire disaster. Then two little kids saw Tanaka with a swimming ring and started teasing him. Taita immediately warned them, "Bro, don't tease someone who can drown." But before Taita could say more, the swimming ring started leaking. The kids instantly apologized, but by then the ring was already ruined. But the twist was, Tanaka was so expert at relaxing due to his laziness that he started floating without any effort. The two kids were instantly impressed and started learning Tanaka's lazy floating technique. Then a nearby staff girl saw this and went into deep thought mode. "Bro, is this technique legit?" When the kids asked Tanaka to teach them, he went into full pro guru mode and said, "I have nothing to teach." Taita silently admired, "Bro, this guy made his lazy philosophy go viral without any effort." After the pool session, back at school, Kungye was ready with a new issue. "I want to wear a yukata for the moon festival, but I'm too short." Kungye's plan was to drink milk and increase his height in the next 5 days so he could watch fireworks with Tsukimai. But bro, genetically impossible. Tanaka straight up said, "Don't stress so much, sitting under the AC at home is more relaxing." Kungye thought a bit and agreed, "You're right, bro. Anyway, Tsukimai will get emotional." But Taita gave an alternative plan. First, pick a good yukata. So Taita, Tanaka, and Shiraishi went on a shopping mission. Shiraishi was also attending the fireworks festival for the first time, so he planned to get the best outfit. Then the topic shifted. How would guys look in yukata? Kungye instantly made a group booking, but the twist was, Shiraishi was already booked, and when he had to reject reject the invite, he went into full emotional mode. Taita and Tanaka also started choosing yukata, but Tanaka picked an ultra-easy and casual yukata that was basically for girls. "Let's just wear this." Taita immediately stopped him. "No bro, once you start, you won't stop." When Shiraishi finally came out ready, everyone instantly praised him. Bro, the guy legit looked good looking. Then Kunge also came, but the yukata in his size was too big for him. He went into full disappointment mode and had to pick a simple dress at the last moment. Shiraishi saw this and went into full "I'll do something" tot mode. "I can customize a special yukata for you." And when the festival day came, Shiraishi actually made an amazing yukata. Kunge was in full happy tears mode. Bro, this was legit teamwork. Then Tsukimai showed up during the festival and the spotlight was on Taita. "Bro, you look really good." Taita casually said, "You're standing out too today." Tsukime went into full blushing mode. Then Tanaka randomly said, "Bro, will we get a free upgrade with battle points?" Taita, without thinking, gave him a chop. Tsukimai went into full rage mode and gave Tanaka a bonus attack. Then the fireworks started and everyone instantly looked up at the sky. Cultural festival plans started and the class decided to make a ghost house. Everyone was super excited, but Tanaka thought it was just extra work. So he started invisibility training 2 weeks early to avoid the event. But the bad luck was that after all the planning, there was only one role left: the ghost. Now the situation was reversed. Everyone thought Tanaka was perfect for the ghost house. Bro, the escape plan itself became a trap. At first, Tanaka went into full procrastination mode, but when he saw everyone working sincerely, he also started taking a serious approach. Then Taita said, "Bro, if you had supernatural powers, you'd probably control the whole event from home." Tanaka internally wished that school and home were the same place so everything could happen without effort. But then he activated his lazy ghost mode and started impressing everyone. Then roles were being assigned, and everyone decided that Tanaka would be the perfect well ghost. But as soon as Tanaka moved to the corner, he had a real horror experience because he got stuck in the darkness. But just as everyone thought Tanaka would panic, he activated full lazy mode and fell asleep right there. The classmates drew eye designs on his closed eyelids, which looked legit scary from a distance, but something was missing. As soon as Tanaka woke up, the fake eyes instantly got ruined, and the full effect was gone. Then it was Taida's turn. He was fully serious in his role, but when the haunted house's scare tricks were used, Taida's height was so tall that when he extended his hand, the person in front couldn't see anything. Bro, this became an accidental ghost shield. Shiraishi made a special ghost costume for Tanaka, but Tanaka was completely chill. He changed right in front of Taita, and who was going to be the final ghost? Taita himself. While Taita and Tanaka were casually talking, Tsukimai's class came to visit the haunted house, and some unexpected drama was happening. The haunted house was fully decorated, and as soon as everyone started checking it out, the first jump scare spot had Tanaka chilling in a bathtub filled with water. Everyone thought this was an extra scary prop, but when they saw Tanaka's real face, they were shocked to see that this guy wasn't acting. He was legit sleeping. Bro, the ultimate fusion of horror and laziness was happening here. The final boss scene of the haunted house was Taita's. He was supposed to be tied to a wooden plank to scare the last visitors, but Taita's real nature was super soft. As soon as the haunted house's professional props activated, Taita's fear meter went full. Everyone was in full shock. Bro, such a big guy and so scared? Kungi stepped up at the last moment and saved the balance of the entire event. The final scariest element of the haunted house was Tanaka's sleeping pose. Bro, this guy is spreading horror even while sleeping. After the haunted house, Tanaka was in full tired mode, so he told Taita, "Let's go rest somewhere." But Taita was already busy, so Tanaka decided to find a place himself. Then he saw Tsukimai promoting the haunted house in a cute girl outfit. Tanaka saw her and quietly exited without saying a word. Tsukimai instantly realized, and her confidence collapsed. On the other hand, Taita and others were looking for Tanaka because without him, the haunted house's perfect balance was falling apart. Then the school's PA system announced, "A student is missing." Bro, the horror event had legit become a missing person case. Everyone pressured Taita to find Tanaka before the announcement. Taita went into full rescue mode, but by then, Tanaka had already hidden inside a box on the terrace. Taita heard his voice. They saw each other, and Tanaka went into full surrender mode. He just lay down right where he was hiding. Taita tried every possible way to get Tanaka up, but when everything failed, Taita also sat down next to him and said, "Bro, if you're not getting up, I'll sit here too." Ultimate lazy duo moment. Finally, when the other classmates found them, they saw both of them resting in the same spot. The end result, both of them officially got cleaning duty for the haunted house. Then rumors started spreading that an actual white shadow was seen in the ghost house. When Taita recalled the whole scene, his fear meter also increased a bit. Bro, was there a real ghost? The next day, seat shuffling day, Tanaka's destiny took a twist, and his seat was moved to the very front. Kunge took the seat behind Taita, and Tanaka instantly swapped seats. Bro, extreme measures were being taken for laziness. Shiraishi was in full happy mode because now Tanaka was sitting next to him. But the reality was that Tanaka had activated full-on sleep mode like a backbencher. Taita picked him up without a word and carried him away. Shiraishi's full talking strategy mode failed, so he activated direct study help mode. But but the problem was that Taita was already handling all of Tanaka's tasks. Bro, is this a best friend or a personal assistant? Shiraishi finally accepted. Bro, it's impossible to take Taita's place. 3 days later, Tanaka suddenly told Shiraishi, bro, are you being overly soft with me? Shiraishi had a full mental collapse because all his efforts were going to waste. Bro, is this Destiny's joke? When Taita's little sister got sick, Tanaka stayed back after school. He casually said, bro, don't overdo it, everything will be fine in time. But the next day, a wild rumor started. Tanaka has a girlfriend. Bro, where did this twist come from? The classmates saw Tanaka with a curly-haired, glasses-wearing girl, but the reality was that it wasn't anyone else. It was Shiraishi's alternate getup. Tanaka instantly went into damage control mode and said, she's my sister, but everyone doubted him. Taita instantly supported him and said, bro, if you're going on a date, invite me too. Tanaka went into full deadpan mode. Taita, keep your scenes separate, don't include me. By evening, the rumors got even worse. And finally, Taita's friend Yuetian also said, bro, thinking about Tanaka's love life seems impossible. Taita internally agreed because Tanaka and dating just didn't fit in the same equation. While walking, Tanaka had a realization. Bro, life is going smoothly, and having a friend like Taita means I don't need to think about anything else. On the other hand, Taita and his gang were secretly searching for Tanaka's imaginary girlfriend. Bro, this is Mission Impossible 2D version. When Taita finally realized that the rumors were just misunderstandings, everyone secretly came to apologize to Tanaka. Tanaka, in full casual tone, said, it's okay, now I understand that if I had a girlfriend, the school would become a full war zone. And in the end, Tanaka officially decided to stay single. Shiraishi internally went into crying mode.